independence. And you know those partisan hacks standing up and cheering on both sides of the aisle? Look at these weirdos. We're not them. They're idiots. Seriously, oh, look at Lizard Man. He's the Secret Service guy. I was obsessed with him all night long. And I mean that as a compliment. If I were going to be president, I would have Gollum protecting me by every move. Oh, my president! Get me to the podium! Look at these people. I mean, they've got problems. Oh, Mr. President, I've been here for hours. Touch me, touch my baby, give me a baby in my body. Also joining us tonight on The Independence, it's Gavin McInnes, co-founder of Vice and Rooster New York, cock-a-doodle-doo. He's also an author. His book, it's fun, it's family-friendly, it's called How to Piss in Public. Michael C. Moynihan joins us. Not to be confused with Michael Q. Moynihan. He's the cultural news editor at the Daily Beast. He's smart, he's sassy, and he means business. All right, the president promises 2014 is going to be a breakthrough year. Yay, finally, it's only January. So much to look forward to. Take a look.
That's why I believe this can be a breakthrough year for America. After 5 years of grit and determined effort, the United States is better positioned for the 21st century than any other nation on earth.
Last 5 years, it kind of sucked, right?
Do you remember when they would give speeches about the 21st century, when it was the 20th century, when it was the future? It was like the good thing that would happen, and there'd be space robots and everything like that. That's the most pathetic thing ever. After 14 years of this, we're finally going to enter the 21st century. It's going to be a breakthrough year.
We've forgotten how exciting a new millennium is.
Yeah.
Millennial?
Very, very exciting speech. Not at all.
It really wasn't, was it?
A little dry, a little boring. Quite a bit of rehash in there.
Superficial.
Not fun.
Gavin, what do you think? What did you and your party mustache think of the speech?
My mustache and I were watching it just going, this is amazing, all the stuff that he's going to take care of. Like he said, Israel's going to get a nation and Palestine's going to be... I felt bad for Santa Claus.
Yeah, you should feel bad for him.
He was watching going, I do one day of toys. Great. This guy's solving every problem in the world. He said he's going to get rid of Mondays, I think, at one point.
Yeah, at least no one would ever have
Sunday, Tuesday.
Yeah. You get a special bank account that never loses money. Did you hear that?
Yeah, the MyRAs.
Pronounce.
You don't even have to have a job or earn money to get the Myra.
Myra.
No. You can't Google it because everything else comes up that says Myra.
I was very impressed by the getting rid of Mondays, the Boomtown Rats experiment. He hates them so much. No, that was Ambien in presidential form.
So if you were Patrick Kennedy, you would have driven.
I was driven into a family. I was watching Hills. I was watching that saying, I have to pay attention because I'm going to talk to Kennedy and all the independents.
Yes.
And I was nodding off, and good God. But the times when I did wake up, I realized that we're in for quite a ride because everything is going to be great. Everything's going to be solved.
So.
The one thing that I noticed about the speech, by the way, that you say, wages are stagnant, we have to fix all this stuff. When does he take ownership for this economy?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he actually he undermined himself at several points throughout the speech. The State of the Union is always a chance for the president to high-five himself. But when do platitudes become lies?
Here are the results of your efforts. The lowest unemployment rate in over 5 years, a rebounding housing market, our deficits cut by more than half.
Ballooned by more than 17. That's another only 8 times what they should be. I mean, this is really like, what a limp banner for him to wave for himself. Like, unemployment doesn't totally suck. Yeah. Housing is not god-awful.
But unemployment does totally suck.
It really does.
If you go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the labor participation rate right now is as low as it has been since 1978, when things were a hell of a lot worse.
Ooh,
so
that was Jimmy Carter era.
That's his best evidence. That is the very first thing that you trot out is not even a half truth. I mean, this is 22 degrees off of where the actual facts are. It's very, very disturbing.
That's too many hops. All right, give America a raise. When in doubt, it's an easy way to get votes from millions of federal contractors. President's all about it.
It does not involve any new bureaucratic program. So join the rest of the country. Say yes. Give America a raise.
Yes, Joe, stand up. Get those hair plugs up and moving. You need the circulation in order to get those things really working. Gavin, what do you think about raising the federal minimum wage, or at least the minimum wage for federal contractors?
I don't think that affects any people. He's talking about maybe 10% of federal employees. They all make minimum wage. So he's talking about a handful of people making himself sound like a hero. But the way he said that, give him a raise. Didn't that sound like President Comanche from Idiocracy, where he goes, everyone gets $1 million. Just give who a raise? Everyone gets a raise.
I love the idea because it's consistent with other stuff he does in the speech that if we just do this, somehow no one experiences any pain. All we have to do is say, let's do this, and there will be no pain. Yeah. It's not going to affect small businesses badly at all. We'll just tell them they have to pay more for their workers, and that's how we're going to cure unemployment.
Who cares
it doesn't make any
if they're
sense.
the economy driver? And although he mentioned drones by name, the speech lacked substance, and he didn't dare whisper those frightening three little letters, NSA.
That's why I've imposed prudent limits on the use of drones. That's why, working with this Congress, I will reform our surveillance programs, because the vital work of our intelligence community depends on public confidence, here and abroad, that privacy of ordinary people is not being violated.
Ooh, Ron Wyden did not look happy there at all, did he?
Not happy. You have a prudent haircut.
Prudent and completely imaginary limitations on the use of drones. They only exist in his mind, nowhere else in America.
No, he made the
fabulous.
big sell for drones, which was so weird. You know, I don't want to put men and women in harm's way. It's a long, exhaustive war that the terrorists want.
And I could agree.
Give it to them.
I could agree with almost all of the statement, except for the part where he says we're not going. The only qualification he had in there was that that the deployments can't be too long, or that they can't involve too many people. I think the exact same indictment he made of a policy where you're arbitrarily going into various places, potentially stirring up acrimony against the United States, could be used against the way that the president has waged the drone war.
Acrimony indeed. The longest stretch of applause was saved for a true hero, a wounded veteran whom the president had met before he was wounded, and this kid's story had me in tears. Sweet moment.
Corey is here tonight. And like the Army he loves, like the America he serves, Sergeant First Class Corey Ramsberg never gives up, and he does not quit. Corey.
That was the one part of the night I thought the president did beautifully, and that did get the longest applause. What does that say about the speech in this country?
It's the longest silence of the whole speech. It was like this cut through of dignity in what is otherwise just not a very dignified thing anymore. Really, I mean, it's this starting with a little high five circuit down the corridor there to the kind of stupid politics of it all and the pomp. It's not a very dignified thing anymore. And suddenly you had this moment of dignity, and everyone sort of looks around and feels like, well, that's something different. We should maybe respect that.
Although there's something very poignant about the whole thing as well. I mean, we have been in Afghanistan for more than a decade, and the reality is that I don't know that the situation is much better than it was about a year afterwards. How much time did we waste there? How many people were injured frivolously? For lack of a better word.
Moynihan, what's going to be a bigger turd storm, Afghanistan or Iraq, when all is said and done?
Oh, God. I mean, can I say both? Because, I mean, both.
It's like Kissinger. Can't they both lose?
Can't they both lose in Iran, Iraq? I mean, it's interesting, the 2012 State of the Union, Obama came out and said, we're defeating al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda's on the run. And if you look now where we are, that's a great moment, because you don't have to discuss the fact that Al-Qaeda in 2001 had nothing but Afghanistan in a little rented part of it. And now it has a presence in cities in Iraq, has a presence in Syria, has a presence again in Afghanistan. It is actually metastasizing across the region. You don't really want to talk about that, but it was a nice moment.